The Tale of Custard the Dragon is a poem written by Ogden Nash. This poem is written in the style of a ballad. What's a ballad? A song or poem that tells a story. This funny poem tells the story of a little girl, Belinda, and her pets. Belinda lives in her little white house with her little pets, a kitten, a mouse, a dog, and a dragon. Belinda and all her pets, except the dragon, have been described as very brave creatures. The dragon is so coward that it is always looking for the safety of a cage. Let's see what happens then. And here starts our poem. Stanza 1. Belinda lived in a little white house with a little black kitten and a little grey mouse and a little yellow dog and a little red wagon and a really truly little pet dragon. Wagon means a vehicle used for transporting goods or another specified purpose. So, in the beginning stanza of the poem, the characters of the poem are introduced. They are Belinda, who lived in a little white house with her pets, and a wagon. Wagon is a vehicle used for transporting goods. And she has some pets. Her pets include a black kitten, a little grey mouse, a little yellow dog, and a little dragon. A realio trulio. Realio trulio is a wrong usage, but that's a poetic license to use the words in a wrong way. That means it's a real, true pet dragon. Okay? Realio trulio means a real and true. Now we are moving to the second stanza. Now the name of the little black kitten was Ink, and the little grey mouse she called him Blink, and the little yellow dog was sharp as mustard, but the dragon was a coward, she called him Custard. So Belinda called her little black kitten as Ink, and her little grey mouse was called as Blink. The color of the dog was as sharp as mustard, yellow in color, mustard color. So it is been called as Mustard. Her dragon was called Custard because he was a coward. He was not brave like other pets, but a coward. That's why this little pet dragon was called as Custard. Third stanza. Custard the dragon had big sharp teeth and spikes on top of him and scales underneath, mouth like a fireplace chimney for a nose, and realio trulio daggers on his toes. This stanza describes the dragon. Custard's physical appearance. He carries all the physical features of a dragon that could make him powerful, scary, and brave. All the physical features of a brave dragon was there for this Custard also. What are those? It had big, sharp teeth and spikes on its back that could easily scare anyone away. Custard also had the ability to spit fire, which makes his mouth like a fireplace, and thus his nose became a chimney. His toes were so pointed and sharp that could cut anything like a dagger. Custard the dragon had big sharp teeth, spikes on top of him, scales underneath, mouth was like fireplace, chimney for a nose, and really truly daggers as toes. Fourth stanza. Belinda was as brave as a barrel full of bears, and Ink and Blink chased lions down the stairs. Mustard was as brave as a tiger in a rage, but Custard cried for a nice, safe cage. This stanza describes all the members of the house. Belinda, she was as brave as many bears combined together into one. Then what about Ink and Blink? Ink and Blink had the power to chase away someone as strong as a lion. Okay. Then Belinda's dog's bravery is compared to that of a tiger, an angry tiger. Tiger in a rage means angry tiger. But Custard, he was just opposite of his physical appearance. He was not at all brave and he always looked for a nice, safe cage. Now we are moving to the fifth stanza. Belinda tickled him, she tickled him unmerciful. Ink, Blink, and Mustard, they rudely called him Percival. They all sat laughing in the little red wagon at the really or truly or cowardly dragon. Belinda tickled. Tickled means stroke. Here it means to tease. Okay. So Belinda tickled the dragon quite cruelly to make it laugh, and seeing the dragon reacting to the tickling, every others laughed. Okay, that made all of them laugh, and they sat in the wagon and laughed at this real, true, cowardly dragon. And they even rudely called him Percival. Percival means a knight in King Arthur's court. Okay, so that's the meaning. Then next, Belinda giggled till she shook the house, and Blink said weak, which is giggling for a mouse. Ink and Mustard rudely asked his age, when Custard cried for a nice, safe cage. Giggled means to laugh. Weak, here it is the sound made by the mouse. Okay, so Belinda laughed a lot at the dragon. She laughed so loudly that it appeared that the house was shaking due to her laughter. Belinda giggled till she shook the house. Okay, then Blink, the mouse, said weak, which is the giggling sound of the mouse. That's the sound produced by the mouse. What about Ink and Mustard? Ink and Mustard asked the dragon's age to make fun of him, as he always behaved like a kid. But Custard the dragon only wanted a nice, safe cage for himself, nothing else. He was not at all bothered of anything which is going on around him. Okay, he just wanted a nice, safe cage for himself. That's all. Now we are moving to the seventh stanza. Suddenly, they heard a nasty sound, and Mustard growled, and they all looked around. Meouch, cried Ink, and oh, cried Belinda, for there was a pirate climbing in the window. Nasty means bad or unpleasant. Growled means bark. Pirate, what's a pirate? The picture of a pirate is given here. A person who robs ship in the sea. Window is also a wrong usage. It is used instead of window. So what's the meaning? While all the members were busy making fun of Custard, the dragon, suddenly, what happened? An unpleasant sound came from the house. By hearing this unpleasant sound, Mustard, the dog, growled, he barked, and looked around it in search of that sound. What about Ink? Ink cried meouch, and Belinda cried oh, when they all saw a pirate. A pirate was climbing in the window of the house. So by seeing that pirate, they all cried out loud. Even Belinda cried. Now look at the next stanza, stanza 8. Pistol in his left hand, pistol in his right, and he held in his teeth a cutlass bright. His beard was black, one leg was wood. It was clear that the pirate meant no good. Pistol, handgun. Cutlass means a short sword with a curved blade. So the pirate looked very dangerous. He was carrying many weapons with him. He had pistol in both the hands, pistol in his left hand, pistol in his right hand, and he also held a sharp blade between his teeth. Okay, between his teeth there was a sharp blade. Then he had black beard and a wooden leg. One of his leg was made of wood. Then his looks and gestures made it quite clear that he meant to do some harm to the people in the house, and to the people who are living in the house. Now the ninth stanza. Belinda paled and she cried, "Help, help!" But Mustard fled with a terrified yelp. Ink trickled down to the bottom of the household, and little Mouse Blink strategically mouse-hauled. Paled means turn yellow due to fear. Yelp, a short, sharp cry. Trickled here means run. Strategically means planned. Mouse-hauled, here it means it's a hall where the mouse lives. Okay, so what's the meaning? When Belinda looked at the pirate, she turned pale with fear and she cried loudly for help. She cried, "Help, help!" Then what happened? All her brave and courageous pets fled from the place. Fled means escaped suddenly from that place. Mustard cried and ran away. Ink silently went to the bottom of the house. And Blink very smartly, very strategically disappeared in a mouse hole, leaving Belinda all alone. Okay? Then, but up jumped Custard, snorting like an engine, clashed his tail like irons in a dungeon, with a clatter and a clank and a jangling scream. He went at the pirate like a robin at a worm. Snorting means make a sudden explosive sound through one's nose. Snorting. Then clashed means fought. Dungeon, underground prison. Clatter clang is a sound of hard object falling on each other. Jangling scream, sound of hard objects falling on each other. So clatter clang and jangling scream is almost same meaning. Robin is a bird. Okay. Now when all the pets hid themselves, what this dragon what this cowardly dragon Custard did, he came to their rescue. He came to the rescue of Belinda and all the other pets. He jumped in front of the pirate and made huge sounds like an engine in anger. Okay, snorting like an engine. Snorting, making a sudden explosive sound like an engine. He moved his tail and made clattering sounds like an iron rod striking the walls of a prison in a dungeon. Okay, so he clashed his tail. Clashed means fought with his tail like irons in the dungeon. Then he moved his tail and made clattering sound. Then, making all these dangerous sounds, he followed the pirate like a robin who follows a worm to eat it. Okay, it was like a bird which is following a worm to eat it. So in such a way, this cowardly dragon has changed completely and he is now attacking this pirate. Now the next stanza. The pirate gaped at Belinda's dragon and gulped some grog from his pocket flagon. He fired 2 bullets, but they didn't hit, and Custard gobbled him every bit. The pirate was shocked to see Belinda's dragon. He gaped, the pirate gaped. Gaped means stared with mouth wide open. Okay, so he gaped at the dragon. And he drank some wine from a bottle, some grog. Grog means a drink, like wine. Okay, he gulped means swallowed some grog from his pocket flagon. Flagon means a container made of silver in which drink is stored. Usually wines are stored in such kind of small containers. So he took that pocket flagon and gulped or swallowed some grog from it. He became much tensed. Then he fired 2 bullets, but they didn't hit. The pirate took out his pistol and fired 2 bullets at Custard, but he failed to hit him, and Custard was unharmed. Then what happened? Custard swallowed the whole of the pirate without leaving any piece of him, without leaving any bit of him. He gobbled. Gobbled means swallowed hurriedly. He gobbled the pirate completely. Okay. Now the next stanza. Belinda embraced him. Mustard licked him. No one mourned for his pirate victim. Ink and blink in glee did gyrate round the dragon that ate the pirate. Mourned means felt sorrow for the death of someone. Victim, sufferer. Glee means happiness or delight. Gyrate means danced. Now, everyone was surprised to see Custard eating the pirate. There was joy all over the house. Belinda embraced Custard to express her gratitude for saving everyone, including her. Then what Mustard did? Mustard licked the dragon to show his love. Everyone celebrated the death of the pirate. They were all happy. No one mourned, no one cried, no one felt sorrow for the death of the pirate. Then Ink and Blink started dancing. And they did gyrate means danced. They danced around the dragon that ate the pirate. But presently up spoke little dog Mustard. I would have been twice as brave if I hadn't been flustered. And up spoke Ink and up spoke Blink. We'd have been 3 times as brave, we think. And Custard said, I quite agree that everybody is braver than me. Flustered means upset or confused. So after this incident, it was quite clear who was brave and who was coward, isn't it? Who was brave? This dragon, and all the others were coward. But Mustard gave an excuse for his cowardice. He said that he would have been twice as brave as Custard if he had not got nervous when he saw the pirate. Okay, he became a little nervous at that time. He became a little flustered or confused or became upset at that time. That's why he couldn't do anything. Otherwise, he might be little more braver than Custard. Ink and Blink said that they would have been thrice as brave as the dragon. Okay, when Mustard said that he'd be twice as brave as this Custard, other two said that they will be 3 times braver than Custard. They also got a little upset at that time. That's why they couldn't do anything. They started giving excuses for the escape. Okay, the humble dragon accepted that he was the most cowardly person and everyone was braver than him. Okay, Custard said, I quite agree that everybody is braver than me. Okay, he was that much humble. So that's the story, and we can see how the poem ends. Stanza 14. Belinda still lives in her little white house with her little black kitten and her little grey mouse and her little yellow dog and her little red wagon and her really or truly or little pet dragon. Belinda is as brave as a barrel full of bears, and Ink and Blink chase lions down the stairs. Mustard is as brave as a tiger in a rage, but Custard keeps crying for a nice, safe cage. Okay, so again, the same stanzas are being repeated. Stanza 1 and stanza 4 are being repeated again. It has been said that Belinda still lives in her little white house with the kitten, with the grey mouse, little yellow dog, a little red wagon, and the real true little pet. And how the character of all the creatures, all the other pets are. Belinda is brave like a barrel full of bears. Ink and Blink can chase lions. Mustard is as brave as a tiger. But how Custard is, he is still crying for a nice, safe cage. Really, Custard was truly brave and he did not boast like Belinda and her other pets. Custard had the courage to face real danger, whereas other ones only boasted of their bravery. Custard faced the pirate and killed him, and he proved it by not running away. Bravery and courage are qualities which are exhibited when someone actually faces a dangerous situation. Thus, these qualities are spontaneous. Taking the example of Custard, we can say with the example of Custard itself. Then, the incident mentioned in the poem reveals a basic truth that the real test of courage is during a crisis. The response of the person at the time of crisis shows a real courage of the person. The dragon, though he never puts his strength on display, he exhibits it in action when it was required. Really, a person exhibits many qualities in his gene. The attributes of a dragon is always dangerous and fierce. How could he look for a safe cage all the time? He had a hidden bravery inside him, for he was unaware and he had been mocked as a coward. In real sense, Custard was not at all a coward. He was brave by birth, but he had no chance to prove it before others. Okay, bravery reacted spontaneously when he killed the pirate and saved everyone, including Belinda. Okay, that's all about the poem. And now we can look at the poetic devices or literary devices used in this poem. First of all, usage of repetition. Use of the word little is repeatedly being seen in this poem. A repetition. And the word suddenly, suddenly, suddenly they heard. Then again, she cried, help, help. Okay, in all those cases, repetition is the poetic device used. Then next is oxymoron. Oxymoron means use of two words with opposite meanings. Pet, dragon. Pet is something soothing and comforting and mild, but dragon is a fearful character, isn't it? So pet, dragon, that usage itself is oxymoron. Oxymoron means use of two words with opposite meanings. Then anaphora. It is a repeated use of words at the start of two consecutive lines. Okay, at the starting of two consecutive lines, repeatedly word is used. And a little and a really. Okay, so that is called a anaphora. Then refrain, repetition of a sentence again and again. What's that? And a really, truly, that sentence is repeatedly being used. That is called refrain. Then and the little grey mouse and the little yellow. So that's called a refrain. If a word is repeated, that is called repetition. If a sentence is repeated again and again, that is refrain. Then poetic license, that's also a literary device. The words like realio, trulio is not being spelt right. Okay, it's real, true. The words are real, true, but it is spelled in a wrong way. The spellings have been changed to create a musical effect. Such kind of wrong usages can be said as poetic license. The next one, simile. The dog is compared to mustard and the little yellow dog was sharp as mustard. If the word as is used, if the word like or as is used to compare two things, we can say simile is the poetic device. Then next one is alliteration. Alliteration is a repetition of C sound. Here it is C sound. Okay, alliteration. Coward and she called him custard. C sound is repeated. Then he held in his teeth. He held his. So there also alliteration is there. Then metaphor. Chimney for a nose. The nose is like a chimney. Chimney for a nose. Nose is chimney itself. Nose is not like chimney. Nose is chimney itself. If the word like is the, we can say simile, but only the comparison is made with two things. That's why it is metaphor. Next one is allusion. It is a reference to any person or place. that is called allusion, percival. Such usage is the is being compared with a night. So reference of any person or place can be called as allusion. Really, it doesn't exist. Next one is onomatopoeia. That means usage of sound words to create a dramatic effect. So when we pronounce the word, we'll get the same meaning. Giggling, laughing. So that word, usage of the sound of the word itself is giving out the meaning. Okay, weak. That's also a word which shows the meaning of the word. Okay, the sound which shows the meaning of the word. Then consonants. Use of consonant sounds. Yes, suddenly they heard a nasty sound. The consonant sound is repeatedly being used. Yes, sound is repeatedly used. The next one, imagery. An image is created about the appearance of the pirate, and while we read that lines, we'll get a complete image of that pirate. So that's why we can say imagery is used there. Okay, so these are the poetic devices used in this poem. I hope you understood the poem very well. I am giving the question answers separate. Please write that to your notebook and read the poem completely. Thank you.